So, where do you get inspiration to, decorate your house?
Does the mall count?
No.
Oh.
Neither does Whole Foods.
Okay, yeah, you cannot make it look like a Whole Foods. I caught up recently with interior designer Dee Murphy to talk about where she gets her ideas from. She recently got back here to LA from a trip to Colombia where she got a ton of inspiration, and she is pouring those experiences into her designs. We are happy to have Dee Murphy here with Dee Murphy Designs. Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm great, thank you.
So I love your work. You, of course, an interior designer, and you go into people's homes and transform them into these beautiful California vibe, kind of happy places.
Yes.
How do you get that? How do you get that inspiration?
Well, inspiration comes from a lot of places. Really, travel gives me inspiration. For example, you just said I went to Colombia. It's full of color, it's full of warmth, and I kind of try to bring that back home with me and imbue that into other people's spaces. So color and pattern. I like when people walk into a home and immediately they feel like they're at home. It's warm, it's not cold.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Do you have clients that come to you and they're like, I want gray, white, and taupe?
Usually not.
Your people are like, give me yellow.
Yes, because when they go onto my Instagram or they go onto my website, they see that I'm working with a lot of color and pattern. I can do an all-white neutral aesthetic, and I can do that beautifully, but it's usually not what people come to me for.
Got it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's our do's and don'ts when you're talking about color in a house, because I feel like there's a lot of ways to do color beautifully.
Yes.
But then there's a lot of ways to kind of have it go sideways.
Yes.
So what are the do's and don'ts to that?
I would say that if you're gonna use a lot of color or a bold color.
Give me a bold color, like
Blue, like let's say a deep blue.
Okay, got
it. What you would want to do is kind of start with that deep blue color. Let's say you painted a room in a deep blue.
the whole
room.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then in the accents, in the other pieces that you're using, take lighter shades of blue, take patterns that use that blue so that it's all very cohesive, but you're still making a mix, and then add one more really beautiful pop of color that gives it a nice accent.
So let's just stay on that theme. So if there was that, then what would your color be the accent color, just to...
What comes to mind right away would be a pink or peach, and then also a green.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the neutrals, because I also feel like every time people are trying to sell a house or whatever, everybody says, paint the walls white.
Yes.
Or paint them something neutral.
Yes.
What can you do with neutrals in the home, but also give it some life with color? What's your favorite method?
Okay, so if you're gonna use neutrals, use a lot of layers so that it doesn't feel too cold.
What does that mean?
Use layers of rugs. Use a really beautiful, earthy woven rug, and then layer another rug on top of that, like a vintage rug, maybe in neutral.
Oh. People don't trip on a double rug?
No, I have I have two of them in my house.
Okay,
actually,
got it.
in my living room and dining room, and add lots of natural woods, texture. So the more you can layer in texture, multiple layers with your neutrals, then it feels warm.
What is one trend in design right now that, in your opinion, and keep in mind your opinion is the bold, bright colors, so there's that to start with, but what's the trend happening right now that you're like, nah, I can pass on it?
It's been a beautiful trend, but I would say there was an overload of mid-century design. We saw it everywhere, we're still seeing it, and I think people are finally getting over it. You can use mid-century pieces, but it should be in small doses. You shouldn't have a full mid-century house. So I think people are finally understanding that, and they're starting to mix in other design aesthetics with their mid-century to have a more layered, more fun look. Something that doesn't seem like you shopped it all out of a catalog.
Right.
Like you actually collected these pieces over time, and that's really, really important.
All right, Dee, great advice. I love your aesthetic. We've been showing all of your pictures of your work, and it is beautiful, and it is bright and cheery just like you.
I know, thank you.
Thanks for coming.